Have you ever had a moment where something just clicked, where you saw yourself clearly, maybe for the first time? You understood your patterns, you could name what you've been doing and why. And in that moment, it felt powerful, liberating. You thought, this is it. This is where everything changes. But then, a few days later, you're back in a familiar situation. And your body reacts the same way it always has. Tight chest, quick yes, overthinking, shutting down, or speeding up. And suddenly, that clarity feels far away. And the question comes in, if I know better, why am I not doing better? If you've ever been there, this episode is for you. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Soul Talk podcast. This is week 2 of the Living Forward series. I'm Mary Beth Rim. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, a therapist, I'm a coach, I'm a runner. I'm your host of the Soul Talk podcast. And this space is where we bring the mind, the body, the spirit, and the deeper truth of who you are back into alignment. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel. These conversations build on each other, and I don't want you to miss what's unfolding here. And just a reminder, this podcast is for reflection and education only. It's not a substitute for therapy or any kind of medical care. So last week, we talked about the aftermath of becoming, where that space where something shifts inside of you, but the external world and your internal rhythms haven't quite caught up. Now, this week, we move into something deeper. Not the mind, the body. See, there's a space that doesn't get talked about enough. The space between insight and integration. Insight, it feels fast. It's that moment of awareness, that realization, that aha moment. But integration is slow. It's quiet. And sometimes it's very uncomfortable. Sometimes it's also confusing because nothing looks dramatically different, but everything feels slightly off. And this is where people start to doubt themselves. They think, maybe I didn't really change. Maybe I'm back to square one. Maybe I'm just stuck. But what's actually happening is this. Your mind has moved forward, and your body is still catching up. Because the body lives in a different time zone. Your body doesn't live in the present moment the same way your mind does. Your mind can decide, I'm not going to people please anymore. I'm going to set boundaries. I'm going to speak honestly. But your body remembers every moment. It wasn't safe to do that. It remembers. It remembers the times you were rejected, the times you were misunderstood, the times you had to adapt to be accepted. So when you try to show up differently now, your body doesn't automatically align with your intention. It pauses and it asks, you sure this is safe? You sure you want to do this? And after that pause, that hesitation, that's not resistance. That's protection. So why do we go back to old patterns? Let's talk about this honestly. Because this is where people get frustrated. You set an intention, you feel clear, and then you find yourself doing the exact same thing you said you wouldn't do. And the inner dialogue starts. Why did I just do that? I knew better. I said I wouldn't do this again. But here's what's actually happening. Your body is choosing what it feels familiar over what is unfamiliar. Even if the familiar isn't aligned anymore, even if it doesn't serve you, even if you've outgrown it. Because to your nervous system, familiar equals safe. Unfamiliar equals uncertain. And uncertain can feel like danger. So let's talk a little bit about the nervous system, because this is where real change either takes root or it just gets pushed away. When your nervous system feels unsafe, you don't have access to your higher awareness. You don't have access to choice. You have access to survival. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And most of these responses happen before you even realize it. So when you say, why did I react like that? The more compassionate question is, what did my body perceive in that moment? Because your body is always scanning, always asking, am I safe here? See, insight isn't enough, and that's okay. This is one of the most important truths I want you to hear. Insight alone does not create change. It opens the door, but it doesn't walk you through it. Integration is what walks you through. And integration requires repetition, patience, gentleness, and most importantly, safety. Not pressure, not force, not, I should be over this by now. Because pressure keeps the nervous system activated. And an activated nervous system does not integrate. So here's the practice of letting the body catch up. What does it actually look like to let your body catch up? It looks like slowing down. It looks like noticing when your body tightens up, when your breath changes, when your thoughts speed up. And instead of overriding that, you stay with it. You breathe. You breathe into it. You pause. You create just enough space for your body to realize, I'm okay. That's integration, not perfection. Perfection will never be achieved. Not getting it right every time, but staying present long enough for your body to learn something new. So we need to redefine what progress looks like, because it's not, I'll never react again. It's, I notice sooner. I pause a little longer. I choose differently, even once. That's progress. That's progress. Every time you interrupt an old pattern, even for a moment, for a second, you're teaching your body something new. And don't you want a new relationship with yourself? Because this is also where your relationship with yourself changes. Because instead of criticizing yourself, you start to understand yourself. Instead of saying, what's wrong with me? You begin to ask, what does my body need right now? And that question changes everything. Because now you're not working against yourself. You are working with yourself. So this week, I want you to shift your focus. Not on fixing yourself. Not on getting it right. But on creating safety. Safety in your breath. Safety in your pauses. Safety in not rushing your response. Safety in letting silence exist. Because when your body feels safe, your truth doesn't have to fight to be heard. It could just emerge. And that's what a lot of us do. We fight. We fight ourselves. So if you take nothing else from today, take this. You are not behind. You are integrating. And integration is not visible. It's not loud, but it's powerful. So the next time you find yourself thinking, I should be further along by now, I should know better, pause. Place a hand on your heart and gently remind yourself, my body is learning a new way to feel safe. If this resonated with you, stay with this work. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this with someone who might need it. As we move through this week together, be patient with yourself. You're not going backward. You're becoming in a way your body can finally hold. Until next time, I'm Mary Beth Rim.